My name is Stephanie Erickson, and I'm a social worker and family caregiving expert. In this series, we're sharing stories about caregivers across Canada. Erica would never call herself a superhero, but I don't really know what else to call her. She's a mom, a wife, and caregiving for her husband who has recurrent brain cancer. The treatment has had a lot of side effects, one of which is her husband's declining memory and some personality changes. Yet, somehow she remains grateful, and she's keeping what matters most in perspective. This is Erica's story.
My name is Erica Hurtubise. I am a wife, a mother of 2 children, and a caregiver to my husband, Jack. I never expected caregiving to be such a big part of my life. I never thought that my relationship with my husband would transition as quickly as it did to being a caregiver. When you marry someone in the vows, it's, in sickness and in health, we live that every day. Jack was re-diagnosed with a recurrent glioblastoma brain tumor. I'd say he's at a 50% of what he used to be. His ability to focus on tasks is greatly diminished. One task at a time is where we are right now. I find that I have to keep him on task. And so it's creating the alarms and the systems in place to keep him on task so he can feel like he contributes. And he can, to a certain level, very much contribute.
Cancer touches all Canadians. 11% of caregivers in Canada provide care for someone with cancer. Caregiving for a spouse accounts for the most hours of care, and 25% of caregivers are also taking care of kids.
My parenting style hasn't changed. My willingness to let things go has. That time isn't something we have a lot of, so use the time that you have to play with your kids. There is homework that has to get done and diapers that have to be changed. That's a given. You cannot avoid those tasks, but it's a more relaxed, not hurried style of parenting. The best parts of my day are the mundane, normal mom tasks because they're not identified by cancer. Cancer didn't define that, and it didn't bring it to our house. My children aren't a distraction of life, but they're a distraction from cancer. It's a time when we're not thinking about cancer. Cancer doesn't exist when we're playing on the swings or unpacking a lunchbox or doing math homework. It's just me and the kids.
What I admire most about Erica is that she has not forgotten about herself. She always carves out time for herself because she knows that without taking care of herself, there is no way that she could support her husband or be present for her kids.
A source of inspiration for me has been triathlon and other triathletes. It has not only given me inspiration, it's given me an outlet. When I am out running, it's where I can finish a thought, I can process an emotion. It's not always a positive experience. Sometimes I cry when I'm running because I don't want to create a negative, sad space in our home. So it's my time to be sad or to feel great. It's a safe place where I can process things. Caregiving, it's almost like a competition. You compete not to win, but to be better than you were yesterday. And better doesn't have to be stronger. It can be calmer. It can be more patient. And it's a process. No one gets up and wakes up and is great. And it's the consistent small efforts every day that build and build and build and that get you there. And it's the consistent small steps that we take in our house every day that get us there.
I bought Erica a gift to thank her for sharing her story. I got her a year-long membership to the gym at the local community center. I really wanted to celebrate her commitment to self-care.
Advice for other caregivers is to not give up on yourself, not to lose yourself in this process, because you were who you were when this all started, and you need to remain who you are. Your identity isn't being a caregiver, it's one hat you wear. Obstacles are part of life. They're to be expected, and it's your attitude towards them that can make all the difference. The difference between an adventure and an ordeal is your attitude.